Anyone who was living in Los Angeles in the mid-1980s remembers the name Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker. I was around 7 when I first remember hearing about this guy. I remember my mom talking about him. I remember seeing news stories on TV of this guy who was going around LA, killing people in the most gruesome ways. I remember the neighborhood parents being paranoid and telling all the kids to go inside the house once the street lights came on, because the Night Stalker was running loose. What made it even more scary for me as a kid was hearing the cities Richard Ramirez's victims lived in. These were towns not too far from where I lived: Whittier, La Puente, Rosemead. Richard Ramirez had everyone in LA shook.
Police today continue to search for any clues in the near-fatal shooting of 29-year-old William Carnes and the rape of his girlfriend. They're apparently the latest victims of the Night Stalker, thought to be responsible now for 34 brutal attacks, 14 of them fatal. These serial killings, once confined to the near Los Angeles area, are now spread over 500 miles from San Francisco to Orange County. Just as before, the assailant entered a house in a quiet middle-class neighborhood in the pre-dawn hours on Sunday through an unlocked window and attacked the couple while they slept. Neighbors are terrified.
Richard Ramirez's childhood is considered an influence on his crimes. Abused by his father, Ramirez began developing gruesome interests in his early and mid-teens from his older cousin, Mike Ramirez, who allegedly also taught him some of his military skills that he would go on to use during his year-long killing spree. Ramirez also cultivated a strong interest in Satanism and the occult. By the time he had left his home in Texas and moved to California at the age of 22, he had began frequently using cocaine. Ramirez would often commit burglaries to support his drug addiction, many of which were later frequently accompanied by murders, attempted murders, rapes, and assaults.
I just sleep with my hand on right by my bed and a sawed-off shotgun, which I always have.
I see. Why is that?
Because if anybody comes in my house, they're not leaving.
Ramirez's highly publicized home invasion and murder spree terrorized the residents of the greater Los Angeles area and later